G'day viewers, welcome to Totally Fucked Up Friday for New Year's Eve 2010-2011. I thought everyone's doing retrospectives, why not have a totally fucked up year in review highlighting some of the most totally fucked up moments in different categories. And first up, some people might notice lighting is different. That's totally fucked up for me today. It's the hottest day of summer so far here in Melbourne. It's after 7 PM and it's still more than 40 degrees Celsius over 100 Fahrenheit outside. It's actually gotten hotter in the evening. Great, that's just what you want on a day when people are going to be out getting pissed. Really hot weather to make them drink more. It ought to be fun tonight, but that's why my normal lights aren't on, because it would get so hot so quickly I would probably die. So I'm not going to do that. First up, I want to give out an award for the most TFU moment in racism this year. And this is from right back in January when an ad aired in Australia for KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken, who was sponsoring the one-day international cricket games. Australia was playing the West Indies. And the ad featured an Australian in enemy territory. He'd stumbled into the West Indian supporters, and anyone who knows cricket knows the West Indian supporters tend to be very vocal. They like their music. They get very passionately into the game. Australia and the West Indies have always enjoyed competing, very fierce competitors. And it's the old joke of, oh no, I'm at the wrong end of the field, I better make friends, because KFC's the sponsors like, hey, KFC's so popular, if I give it to everyone, they'll be my friends and it'll be okay. Why was this a TFU moment in racism? Mostly because some particularly fucking ignorant people in the US who understood nothing about cricket, the relationship between Australia and the West Indies in cricket, and apparently the nature of sponsorship, said it was racist because there's a racist stereotype in the US that says black people eat fried chicken. Yeah, that's an American stereotype, and as I pointed out at the time, enforcing your cultural standards on the entire fucking world is racism and bigotry of the worst sort. Hey, here's an interesting thing. When you see something from another country that you don't understand, why don't you investigate the country that it's come from so you understand where that fits culturally? First, no fucking Australian uses fried chicken as a stereotype about black people. Second, how do you advertise a fried chicken company that's sponsoring a competition that involves a team of black players without putting fried chicken near black people? You fucking idiots. It's this sort of bullshit with people going, oh, racism. Let's actual racists off the hook. You want an actual racist? Earlier this year, there was this complete moron promoting the idea of a whites-only basketball league in America, which I thought was funny because he was essentially saying white people are shit and can't compete on an open playing field, so you have to reintroduce segregation just because you want white people on the court. And he went on to say it's not racist, apart from the dictionary definition, but it's not racist because white people play the fundamentals and black people play this really high-flying athletic game that white people can't compete in. So, what? Whites only? Surely there are, I don't know, short black people who can't play the high-flying game either? What about Mexicans or Asians who are short? Why not just call it the talentless fucking league? But this is the point. When people go off the handle about, oh, I see racism, I see racism. Actual racists get away with saying outrageously racist things and getting to say, I'm not being racist. That is totally fucked up. Now for the most totally fucked up moment in law enforcement for the year. Always a hard topic to pick one on, but for me, just for absolutely outrageous stupidity, the story about Pedo Bear, the joke that started on 4chan, being treated as a serious pedophile issue by law enforcement was just the most totally fucked up law enforcement story of the year. The absolute cluelessness involved just stunned me. And the story was actually picked up and run with by some Fox News outlets, which is hardly surprising given they won a court case this year to be allowed to deliberately lie to the public. But everyone's going, ha, it's funny, they're stupid. I'm going to go to one of the online betting agencies and see if they will take a bet with me. Someone online is going to get recorded sex offences against them solely because of an association with Pedo Bear. They won't actually have any porn, let alone kiddie porn, on their computer, but they'll have a Pedo Bear sticker on their car, or wear a Pedo Bear t-shirt or a Pedo Bear costume, and they'll be arrested, and then someone will look at the logs on their internet access and see they were on 4chan. And are you telling me you can't find child porn on 4chan? That's my bet, and that will be the most totally fucked up outcome. It's one thing like, hey, I don't appreciate your sense of humour. That's the point. People are deliberately making jokes about pedophilia to make uptight people squirm, but to turn that into a criminal record, and a serious one like a sex offender criminal record, that is totally fucked up. And my award for most TFU Hypocrite of the Year goes to a conservative evangelist from Florida called George Rikas. Like a lot of conservative Christian evangelists, he preaches an anti-gay message. It's the work of the devil. We've got to save them. We've got to convert them. And then he goes on holiday with a rent boy. I'm not being negative. He actually hired the guy from a site called rentboy.com. And his defense was the guy was just helping him lift his luggage. If you want a personal assistant, you don't have to go to a gay escort website to get it. You can if you want, that doesn't bother me. But to publicly preach a horrible homophobic message and privately hire young boys to make that holiday something extra special, well, that is totally fucked up. And I'm going to wind up with a big award for the most TFU Trend of the Year. And for me, that is the trend for governments and law enforcement worldwide to increase censorship and increase criminal prosecutions for things under the headline of like copyright. And this is literally worldwide. Australia had the running early in the year, and in 2009, with our communications minister Stephen Conroy promoting an idea to essentially censor the entire internet. And I laughed at the time that people went, oh, Australia, you're so backward. I was thinking, do you not get that this is worldwide? I mean, obvious repressive countries like China and some of the Muslim countries want to clamp down on everything on the internet that they can, but the whole European Union, the US, and most recently the UK have been introducing these laws. They're using law enforcement to shut down websites just because someone said there was something bad on them, whether that was porn or copyright infringing material. I mean, in the US, their sort of national security concerns, they've managed to put copyright as a national security issue, and they were taking away domains based on the say-so of the big entertainment companies. They said, no, that site is definitely infringing. Nothing went to court, nothing was proved, but the domains were taken away. Hello, and this has really reached its pinnacle with a talk in the UK most recently. Again, it's about censoring the entire internet, but it starts with, we've got to stop the child pornography, because that way they frame it that anyone who speaks against it, you're in favour of child pornography. Honestly, almost anyone who publicly speaks against censorship is not in favour of child pornography. People who are in favour of child pornography stay really fucking quiet because they don't want the attention. Adults who speak out against censorship just want to be treated like adults. And this insanity in the UK, for instance, just because it's the most recent one Conservative MP just spouted this ridiculous line saying 60% of 9 to 19-year-olds have watched porn online. First, fuck you. You made that shit up. There is no fucking way you can objectively and accurately measure that. Second, fuck you for saying 9 to 19-year-olds. A 19-year-old is a fucking adult. How fucking dare you group what adults do with what 9-year-olds do. This is typical of the scum who are pushing this sort of repression. It's half lies and half exaggeration and no fucking truth in what they say. Yes, there is horrible shit online. We all know that. But these ideas of government censoring the internet are counterproductive. First, because they won't stop the nasty shit, because the governments are way too fucking slow moving to stop the criminals who are doing it. And second, it just opens the door far too wide for government abuse. And when people say, oh, but governments have our best interests at heart, look at what happened with WikiLeaks. I'm not a huge WikiLeaks champion. I think there are serious flaws in the way they operate, and they are just asking to be played for chumps if they haven't already been, and it is just so open to abuse what they do. But when all they did was essentially embarrass some governments around the world, and banks said, well, we can take away your money, and government said, we can take away your domain, and government said, we can arrest you because you're the public figurehead of that, when nobody can point to an actual law that's been broken. When you have government officials, elected people saying Julian Assange should be killed when he hasn't broken a law, you've reached a pretty bad space. And this really just seems to be setting an example, what's known as a chilling effect. Come down really heavy on someone to discourage other people from doing the same thing. This trend is only going to increase. This is going to be an ongoing battle. And really the only answer is not fighting against the government, because the media are scared of the internet, they're scared for their jobs, so they will repeat any government lies about the internet to make the internet look bad. The only answer is for technical people to come up with technical solutions that show a good effort's been made on these things. But in the meantime, we're going to be fighting this constant battle to maintain what little freedoms we have. And this is going to be, I'm going to project out here, it's not just the most totally fucked up story for 2010, it's going to be the most totally fucked up trend for next year, and each year it's just going to go on and on and on. And we've got a long fight ahead of us. Stick with it. Well, that was my TFU year of 2010. I have to admit, although I'm saying, 2010, what a TFU year, my personal year, fucking awesome, mostly because of you people. I've had a great time this year. It's been great making the videos for you, getting all the feedback from you, and I'm looking forward to another equally good year in 2011, in fact, a better year. And yes, TFU Friday will continue because the world really is totally fucked up, and I will never run out of material.